com for more great podcasts.
Welcome to Dig on America, where we speak truth to power. Every week, we give you the dig on how American history, policies, and media created the social and political issues we face today. DOA is independent media supported by listeners, but they'll tell you we're just fake news, deep state propaganda, funded by George Soros, the Clinton Foundation, BLM Marxists, and
Colonel Sanders. None other. How about you, Tim?
Dave Thompson from Wendy's.
Isn't it Dave Thomas?
Is it Dave Thomas? It's been a while.
I think it's Dave Thomas. I was like, Dave Thompson.
Ronald McDonald. There we go.
Yeah. Ronald's always got something going on. Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another edition of Dig on America. I'm Mikey Famine. I'm the only host who bothered to show up today. No, I'm just kidding. Dutch is taking care of some family stuff, and Big Haz will probably show up a little bit later on. Uh-oh, we're getting some audio issues.
Is it?
Yeah, it's David.
Okay.
David, check your mic is like clicking real bad. Just give me a thumbs up when you got it. I kind of spoiled the lead there. Today with us, running for office in Colorado's 5th district. Oh, you muted yourself, David. David Torres is with us.
Oh,
and
he's gone.
I lied. He is not with us.
He is gone.
He is gone with us.
Well, it was good while it lasted.
I had so many questions. So many questions, but we'll never get to them now. So how's your week been? I hear you're a little sicky poo.
Yeah, I got a little cold, a little under the weather. I had to go. Well, I went to go get a COVID test just to make sure that I don't have COVID, and I don't. So,
yeah, all the audio listeners, please Lysol down your device after listening to this podcast. I don't know what Tim has. He says it's a cold, but
I got that new Omicron.
Yeah,
that new COVID.
Is it bad that I'm like? I shudder to even look into it now. It's like, is this just going to be like, is this worse? Is this the zombie one, or is it the one after this? That's the zombie one. Because one of these is going to be the zombie one. And I'm like, really not.
No, it's the Omega one. Once you get to Omega, that's the zombie one.
Yeah, we're screwed after that.
Yeah.
All right. Our guest has returned. David. All right. Let's see how it sounds now. There we go.
That's better.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
Good. Tech issues happen. It's all good.
I want to be clear here that I'm doing nothing different on my side, and the world is against me. So audio, video, whatever it is that I'm causing, I want to apologize ahead of time. So I don't know what's going on.
It's the deep state.
It is the deep state.
It's gotta be.
It's the corporate Democrats.
There you go. There you go.
They're out there all over your IP address, just downloading everything so that there's no way it'll run smoothly.
Yeah.
So, David, you want to take a couple minutes? I will move you to the big chair. Let people know who you are and what you're all about.
Well, I am David Torres. What I'm all about could take hours, but I'm a guy who about a year and a half ago was switching up my career later in life, if you will. I'm not that old. The younger you guess, the more points you get. Was headed towards law school, and that's when my interest for politics peaked. Started paying attention at the national level, and then I started paying attention at the local level in the city, more specifically that I grew up in, and I just found myself getting more and more pissed every day, guys. It was consuming me to a degree. I realized that there was more issues than I had already presumed there was in the government. Because, when you grow up, all you ever hear from the government, no matter if you talk to a Republican or a Democrat, is that they're all crooks, right? So that's just the That's just what you believe it to be.
Yeah.
But it felt deeper to me than that. And I felt compelled through my experiences in life, through my first career, if you will. I learned a lot of shit about a lot of shit. And to be perfectly honest with you, when I broke down, the more research I did on Congress, the more things I researched on elected officials, their job or their job title, which is not necessarily specifically explained anywhere. I realized that this is where my path was leading at the moment in my life. I've always dreamed, as cliche or corny as this may sound, that my life would be all about serving others. That's the joy that I get, is doing good for other people. And I don't know if that's a compilation of my career and mostly my childhood experiences. But this was it. This was a great time for me to go in and, of all districts, go into a place as a Democrat where a Democrat has never won, hasn't even come close to. But to truly give back and to represent a community, and now a district, if you will, that helped raise me, that helped make me the guy that I am today, the person that I am, the father that I am, the husband that I am. But I also wanted to do it on my terms. So I've been called not a prototypical candidate by people from both sides. And that pumps me up, man. That makes me believe that I'm doing my job correctly, because I'm not prototypical, and I refuse to be prototypical, because what we see prototypically is a lot of failure. So
Yeah.
you know, I'm gonna take this journey, and regardless, I'm gonna bust my ass and do my best. I'm gonna have fun with it. I'm going to immerse myself in this community, and we will see what happens. But I'm very confident that only positive things can happen here, regardless whether I win or lose. So
I just pulled up the Colorado 5th in Ballotpedia.
Yeah.
The Republican won by 90,000 votes.
Yeah. So thanks for
Damn.
bringing that back up. I appreciate that. But no, it's not been close. I think 18 points.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm going to turn this. I'm in my camper because it's fun to be in here. But I think the closest was a couple of elections ago. Miss Spalding got within 18 points, and she's has come the closest, I think, ever. So, yay!
Wow.
Yeah, let's go for it, right?
18 points. That's a toughie. I've been on that side of that. Every election I've run in is 60-40.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I understand overcoming those obstacles.
Yeah, listen, it's a uphill battle. I'm aware of that. I'm also very familiar with this district. I understand that it's a very conservative district. It's a very religious district. But I was raised by these people, and despite me having a different political affiliation, if you will, and a lot of different views, especially when we talk about the social aspect of politics.
Right.
I speak their language. I can communicate with them. And I truly believe, guys, and I know this may be the optimist in me, the dreamer in me. I truly believe that despite the incredible candidates we've had in this district, somebody who's from here, somebody who's raised here, and somebody who can speak this language and communicate is all that's missing for a lot of these people. It's a big unaffiliated area. By far the largest voter registration is unaffiliated. Yes, they lean to the right or they vote Republican, obviously.
Yeah.
But guys, I really just, again, the optimist in me, they just need to be able to communicate with somebody. They need to be able to actually have a conversation with somebody without feeling or without believing that they're trying to sway them into this liberal conversation. You know, I can communicate with you. We can have completely different views on things. And I'm not necessarily talking about the super right wings, you know, the Trumpers. Those guys I'm just going to try to have as much fun with as I can. But I don't believe that that's the majority in this district. I think the majority in this district is just want somebody who's present, who can speak to them, who can understand what they say, and, you know, be transparent about what needs to be done and what should be done for this district and this country. So
do you think this Trumper thing is a fad or is it the new normal?
that's a great question. I think it's a fad that has the potential to become a new normal. I used to believe very strongly, even just recently, that this will blow over, right?
Right.
But it's not gonna, and that could be true. I just don't think it's gonna do it on its own. It has to be forced away.
Right.
And some of it is going to be holding these people accountable. You know, I am going into trying to get into this leadership position, if you will, trying to get elected, but I'm not going to shy away from holding people accountable for their actions. And yes, we must blame the elected officials that are out there now, that are spewing, that are planting these seeds of complete ignorance, misinformation, Trump and all his cronies. But who's watering these seeds? You know what I'm saying? So we have to hold accountable those people on the ground that are taking this information and freaking running with it, you know, without any thought to it. They're just, that must be right. I'm going to run with it, you know? So I think it's important that we do hold those people accountable and make it a norm to say, not only are you wrong, but this is dangerous and
damaging.
It's damaging. That's exactly right. And in a very political or polite way, say you need to shut the hell up. So I'm working on that right now. So
all right. So Dutch is in the chat being a troll as usual. So we're gonna play a little game called the 4 Down Territory. I'm not going to do Dutch's ridiculous audible. It's terrible. He always names like some very niche street, like instead of Omaha, it's like Ogden Avenue. Like it's just like, come on, what is happening here? So Omaha, Hut, all that good stuff. David, we're gonna ask you some of the hard-hitting questions, and Dutch has already laid one up for me in the chat here. Mr. Dutch wants to know, for the long hair, shampoo and styling product line of choice. Uh-oh, I think you're muted.
Yeah, you're muted.
Sorry, I lost you at the end there. What was it for the long hair?
Shampoo and styling product line of choice.
Okay. This is a great question. So I just started growing my hair out about a couple of years ago. So styling, the styling stuff, I'm still playing around with, guys. I don't have a particular one that I like. But shampoo, conditioner, it's Pantene, man. Listen, it keeps it glowing. And I have no complaints with Pantene. Believe it or not.
Pantene and that stuff, that's like Thanos shampoo for me. Because my little hair just be like, I don't feel so good, and it just dry up. And it'd be just gone. Just gone. Tim, you got a question for him?
All right, so this is like the important stuff right here. What do you like in your grilled cheese?
In my grilled cheese?
In your grilled cheese, what's your favorite thing to have in grilled cheese?
You know,
Oh, no.
real cheese, it's just got to be cheese. Once in a while, though, I will throw a piece of ham or turkey in there,
Okay.
and roll like
All right.
that. But I'm a simplest man. I'm simple.
He's a grilled cheese.
Give me the
purist.
original, and we'll go from there. I am a purist. That's exactly right.
I am so sick of grilled cheese purity culture. So
Hey,
we
you youngins got to add shit to stuff. That's already okay, man. I don't get it.
Since we were before we got rolling, and I had to get like my 80th bottle of water. We got some real bad clicking. Is your phone moving? I don't know what's going on. Since you told me about like Bo Jackson and being like a Raiders fan, Bo Jackson is probably one of the most serious athletes this world has ever seen. What's like the greatest sports athlete moment you can remember?
The greatest sports athlete moment. That is a great question because I've seen a lot of stuff.
Those freak of nature crazy plays.
Yeah. So I'm going to mention this, although I got to preface that some of this has changed in the last year, and I've watched some documentaries that have pissed me off. But in the Olympics, I believe this was either in the late 90s, and I apologize because I'm going to. When the USA women's gymnastics team was up for a gold medal, and one of our gals had to finish the vault. No, it was the vault, right? And
Carrie
she
Strug.
sprained her ankle. Yeah. She sprained her ankle. She hurt her ankle really bad, and she still went out there and completed it to give USA the gold. Was such an awesome moment because for me, it solidified, number one, how dominant I felt, how undervalued, and how much we underestimate women and their strength. And especially for, gymnasts are always super young, and for her to show that resolve, when I watched that live was fairly life-changing. I was like, wow, that is just someone who wanted to go compete, who wanted to win, and who did everything for her team and her country. And what I was prefacing with, what I was talking about, I had just watched the documentary about that team and that frickin' doctor who was eventually found and arrested.
Right.
It almost felt like for those girls that they didn't really have a choice. And it broke my heart even more. It made me realize how much stronger they really were, because they were faced with this dilemma, and they still found resolve in it. They still found the strength to compete, not only with the rigors of the athleticism part of it, but the off the field issues as well. Watching that documentary and then thinking back to how I felt at that moment really put a lot of things in perspective. But I still believe that was just such an amazing thing to watch at the time.
I thought you were gonna go for like you said the documentary, and in my head I already started the B-roll footage of The Last Dance. I was like, oh, he's gonna talk about how much of a punk ass Pippen was for fucking having a fucking migraine because he was scared.
He was. Listen, I'm not gonna talk down. Pippin's
been wilding out.
Documentary as well. But
Pippen has been wilding out lately.
I was more of a
He's
Rodney
burned down the
fan
house
in those years, so yeah.
Yeah, the Worm is by far the greatest bull that has ever been. Like, we all know that. I mean, we could tap dance around it all we want, but we know. In our heart of hearts, we know. Tim, you're up.
Oh, I just asked one.
And then I just did one.
Oh, I get another one?
Yeah. It's
We're running out of
4.
hosts.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Let's ask a political one this time. All right.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
Boring.
I know, right? So they were talking about they were hearing arguments for trying to overturn Roe v. Wade today. Your opinion?
Okay, you're opening a box of worms with that with me. One of my biggest things is it surrounds women's rights, and I was basically towards the end of my childhood, or the rest of my childhood, was raised by my mother and my sister after having a pretty abusive dad. So my love, respect, and adoration for women started at a pretty early age. I really truly believed, after I started paying attention to certain things, such as the law and things like Roe v. Wade, I never truly imagined that we would be back in this situation where the courts are listening to the possible. I can go on for days about this. This pisses me off more than anything else, because this is no longer an issue about abortion, because I can respect somebody's view that they feel like abortion is unethical. I can sit there and have that conversation with you all day long. But we are actually doing, by listening to possibly repealing Roe v. Wade, we are doing the exact opposite to try to, if your goal is to minimize abortions that this country has, we need to be giving women more rights than they have, not taking them away. The way I view this is that this is just a power grab to simply try to take human rights away from human beings. And it's pretty disgusting that it's gotten to this point, that people think or are so afraid of losing their job that instead of doing their damn job, they're doing these crazy, wild, they're making these attempts to appeal to radicals in order to maintain their job or their status, because it makes noise, right? And hate, people like that. People like listening to hateful things. It's enjoyable, right? And that's all this is, man. This isn't about saving unborn children or pro-life. It's not even about pro-life. And let me tell you why. To a degree, I'm pro-life, in the manner that we have such a shitty foster system in this country. We have homeless children right here in Colorado Springs. We have several organizations out there trying to combat homeless teenagers and children. Some of them being in the LGBTQ community, who are homeless because their parents found out they were gay and they kicked them out. Upstanding parents like that. Those are the lives that I'm pro about, that we need to help, that we need to fix in this country. There should be no homeless people, granted, but there is sure as hell shouldn't be any children without a home.
It's like when they were consistently shouting down Black Lives Matter people, saying all lives matter. I'm like, but what about all these homeless people? Like, they made their decisions. It's like, what the?
Exactly.
It's like, when did they say? I thought everybody was all. What happened?
That's the same damn thing. This whole Roe v. Wade thing is very similar in upsetting me as that retort to Black Lives Matter. All lives matter. every time I'm so happy that the only time I heard that was, on TV or, through the radio or through Facebook or something, because if I ever heard that, like in front of my face, I'm really scared and afraid of how I would have reacted to that, physically.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know how well that would have voted for my campaign, smacking somebody. But yeah, man, just listen, I am disgusted with this, and obviously we have to let this play out and see what happens. But unfortunately, the fight for women's human rights continues. Yes, we're in 2021. This isn't a dream. Nevertheless, we have to fight harder now, and they need as many allies as possible.
Right.
And I will never sit here and pretend to know what a woman feels and thinks when they're faced with a decision, having to make a decision when they become pregnant for whatever freaking reason. The only thing I can tell you is that it's none of my damn business. And
there we go.
Government.
Ding, ding, ding. That's
it.
I was going to ask, do you think that there should be a law that codifies Roe v. Wade?
Yes, 100%. That should have. It should never have been something that we could go back and reverse, because it's human rights, man. It's how many times you two are perfect examples of two people like myself. How many times in our lives together have we ever been told what to do with our body? Ever. What we can or what we cannot do. And now, granted, this goes forever for white men. You know what I mean?
Right.
But even at my age, as a Puerto Rican man, I've never been told what I can and cannot do. You know what I'm saying? Why is it that women have this, that we place the standard on women? So yeah, you're damn right. It should have been codified. We need to do that now. And the fact that we're still talking about this in 2021 is kind of embarrassing, man. Because this is all over the news, and it's embarrassing. So
especially when some of the other shows I do, like I have a lot of international friends, and they're just like, "You guys all right over there? Things going good?" I'm like, fuck. Wayne heard about the damn. He's like, "What's this? I'm hearing about this. What's
Mikey,
this?"
That's a brilliant accent, brother.
It's awful.
On the screen.
It's awful. It gets worse and worse the more I listen to Wayne, because he's fucking Cockney. So it's just fucking all throat noises, all clicks and whistles to me.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And then one thing I wrote down here, it's very ironic that the same people who are talking about, oh well, I won't wear a mask, I have these rights, I have these freedoms, this is my body, it needs O2, not CO2. Then a woman says, hey, can I have dominion over my own uterus? And they're like, no, my uterus. It has never been your uterus. It's ours.
That's exactly right. It's funny, because we talk about mask and the vaccine and things like that, and not only protecting yourself but the people around you, which is apparently a difficult thing to grasp for some people. I expect my 9-year-old daughter to act as if she's the center of the world, because she's 9, or she just turned 10. You know what I mean? I get it. But when an adult acts and react that way, I just can't comprehend it sometimes. It's really hard for me to get into somebody's brain and truly understand their perspective when they have that mindset. And abortion rights or healthcare rights, that it's a completely different standard. This is what a woman does to herself with her own body. For instance, i.e. smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol. In my state, smoking weed.
In my state too.
Hey,
yes.
my state too.
Oh yeah. You guys are all new. It's coming around, isn't it? I used to, I used to love the fact that I could say, well, in my state, and I don't smoke weed, but I still had pride in the fact that my state.
Right.
I was like, yeah, hell yeah, suckers.
I could if I wanted to.
If I
just
wanted to.
choose not to.
So, but things like that could have harmful results. We can make that choice. But God forbid a woman be able to do it. So, it is what it is. There's contradictions everywhere. But when it has to do with the health and safety of not only you, but the people around you, and it's not like it's something new, we freaking got seatbelts. You can't smoke indoor anywhere on earth anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Casinos.
Right. Well, yeah. And even then I thought there were some places you couldn't.
They still got it. They got it lit up. I went to Vegas a couple years ago. It is the only. I was like, oh my god, we used to like live in rooms like this back in the 90s, and now I can't even take the air in there anymore.
All the casinos in Connecticut are Indian casinos, so you can smoke wherever you want there.
As long as it's American spirits, though, right? All right. Listen, there's contradictions everywhere, but at the end of the day, those are two completely different situations. Wear a damn mask, maybe get vaccinated. That'd be freaking nice. And stop telling women what to do with their freaking body, dude. It's you guys. We keep doing that in a decade or two. They're gonna end up taking the world, and dudes are screwed. Even the nice ones, even the good ones. We're all freaking screwed. Okay.
Some of us will be favorite pets.
Yeah. No shit. And they will figure out a way to procreate without men. I'm telling you. And once they do that, guys, that's why I'm trying to jump on this bandwagon now. But even it's going to be too late if we keep this up. Eventually, we'll rule the world. So
yeah, we're all just like what's my man from Lord of the Rings? Wormtongue.
Bilbo.
Oh
yeah. That's us. We're all gonna be just whoever's in charge. Please don't hurt us. Can I please just have some tools and some dirt, a couple of video games here now, and some whiskey, and I'll shut up and stay in the corner. Please don't hurt me.
That's it.
I apologize.
Keep messing around. I'm telling you, we keep messing around, and that's gonna be our future.
I mean, Siri's already in everybody's. Oh, it's begun.
Yeah.
It's begun.
Yeah.
We were worried about the singularity with the robots. No, fool, not the robots.
I'm telling you,
it's too late now.
That's the next movie, I, Woman.
Oh no.
And I'm telling you, it's going to be ugly for men. It's going to be very ugly if we don't get our shit together, man. The future is not good for men.
They're going to put us in self-driving Teslas. All of us. They'll make us go the long way and ask for directions if we get lost.
Right.
The most denigrating thing you can do.
Ask for directions. Ask for help. Yep.
So what's one of your main pillars for your platform for this election?
Sure. So that's a really good question, because I pondered this several times and things keep going, keep changing in that department as far as, what are the top things? I think they're similar. Everything is similar in the sense of, what Democrats try to preach all the way around. To be perfectly honest with you, my route in all this is the whole unity route. Okay. Again, at the risk of sounding cliche, we can't ignore the fact that the last 5 years has divided this country so absolutely bad, in a manner where even family members don't talk to each other over a topic that we rarely spoke about 5 years ago. The only thing we would all say about politics is, freaking politicians are crooks.
Right.
That's it. That was the that was the extent of our political dialogue for so long. And now it's like a prerequisite to get into the door for Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Like, what exactly do you think on women's rights? You know, A or B? And, you know, if you answer correctly, you may be able to get in. I have the same, I believe in women's rights. That's one thing that's very strong for me. Human equality, period. Racism is a very big point of topic for me, and I'll talk about that all day long. In this particular town, growing up in such a strong military presence, veterans is something that I will advocate for till the day I die, because I think this country treats our veterans like shit. But I can't, and I won't be able to accomplish any of those things, and any of that agenda, if the communication between me and the rest of Congress isn't on point. And that's the game I'm going to change, guys. I can conversate and have discussions with anybody from any walk of life. In my experience, I've learned to do that. I've done it with so many different types of people, and I love to learn about people. I'm a humanist in that way. But until I show people how we truly can communicate with people of different thoughts and views and beliefs, and bring that into my district, and you reunite a district that when I was growing up was so freaking strong, diverse mentally, yet very strong. None of that shit is going to matter. None of the things that I want to accomplish will get accomplished. You see that now in Congress, where Democrats have the House, the Senate, and the presidency, right? And we're just now skating through with some of these bills being passed. The Build Back Better, the infrastructure bill. The Build Back Better has not even gone through Senate yet, so we don't even know about that.
Right.
But you see what I'm saying? That there's a lack of communication. Now, granted, I'm not blaming other Democrats for that. There are a couple Democrats that we know of that are that their pockets are being filled by big corps. But a lot of it is these people who are trying to appease Trump because they don't have their own mental capacity to do their job. And for some reason, man, we have it here in Colorado. We got Yosemite Sam down in District 3, Bober, you know. Like, are you kidding me? Like, she has no mind of her own. The fact that she got elected in the first place blows my mind, but whatever, we all make mistakes, right? And it's people like her that are ruining the Republican Party name, to the point where people are like, fuck Republicans. We hate Republicans, right? And it never used to be like that. It used to be two parties with two different ways to find solutions. You sit down at the table and you try to find it. Now it's like, the Republican Party it's a mess, and the Democratic Party is dealing with progressives and centrist. And to me, I don't think that there's a difference. I think there's progressives or Democrats and people being paid by a lot of money to say something else. So
that kind of leads. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say the big problem is that nobody talks to anybody anymore. Every book I read about Congress is they used to talk, and they used to like go out and have drinks, and now they're at each other's throats. Like that's the mentality now, is that they don't work together at all. They don't even eat together anymore. Like,
I couldn't have said it any better. And I know it may sound like a pipe dream to try to bring that back, but in order for the American people to actually get things from their government that they expect from their government, that does have to come back. But you're right, man. It's like high school. Everything I see is like, dude, I remember that in high school. I remember doing that in high school. I remember that being done to me in high school. These Twitter battles, like, what?
Yeah.
Like, we're not rappers. You know what I mean? We're not. This is not how we should be conducting business. You know what I mean? And if you compare it to a company, I don't know how many companies you guys have worked for, but if managers were talking to each other at a company this way, that business would not last. And for them to be this childish is just unheard of. I can't believe we've gotten to this point. So at the top of everything, I am compelled to do my best to change the perspective of what you deserve as an elected official. And hopefully, if I can win this, and my campaign manager will kick my ass because she's always saying, don't say if, say when you win this. And I'm like, all right, I'll say it.
Yeah.
When I win
say
this,
when.
Yeah, when I win this, I want that to spread. I want to be something that people expect. And whether you're voting Republican or Democrat, they're people who are willing to communicate with everyone and to figure out what the best solution is to an issue and get that solution, that issue solved. We're a long way from that, guys. But we need to start now. And that's why I'm running now, is because if I don't start, then we have to wait for the next person to start and the next person to start.
Right.
And I want this to start now, because I don't know how long it's going to take to weed out all the idiots that we've elected in Congress now.
And it's one thing to say that there's almost a limited amount of work you can do in Congress. A lot of that comes down to local stuff. You're not going to go out there and physically build a bridge. You're not that guy, right? You gotta know what your job is as a congressperson. But then some people are just like, so I just do this speech, dinner, raise money, speech, and what's the check? Oh shit, where my notes at, boy, man? Get the notes, man. I can remember this shit. I was in theater in high school. I could do this. I was madrigals. This is easy. And that's kind of their gig now, is they just say the Congressy sounding stuff. And a lot of people don't understand. Like, this person has no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, they have no concept of history or congressional, like, whatever, traditions and stuff like that. They're just completely buck wild, don't know what's going on.
Even just basic communication skills, right? Like, even just the ability to communicate, because the stuff that we see in Congress, back in the day, they were all lawyers, right? So a lot of our text, a lot of the things that are written up are written in lawyer speak to a degree, okay? But the ability to translate that, they don't even try to do that anymore. There's no translation. A lot of people just recently realized what was in the infrastructure bill. You know what I mean? They got some points here and there, but that wasn't even relayed, in my mind, appropriately. So that communication skill is lacking, where you could actually be transparent with your district and actually allow them to understand what's in this bill, why is it in this bill, who does it affect, why does it affect them, and so that it's not like a guessing game where some people, and granted most of them are Republicans that I can think of, can shout out this misinformation and people believe them because they don't have any other information, or they choose not to dive in, or don't have the time to dive in and really understand some of the verbiage that is being put out there. It's basic communication skills. It's not difficult to be an elected official who's actually working for the public. And it's also not a secret that all the Congress people, all people in Congress and Senate who are getting money from whatever big, you name it, big tobacco, big pharma, whatever. It's not a secret, and yet we're just accustomed to it, so we're okay with it. When did we become okay with that? Now it's public knowledge. Nobody tries to hide that shit anymore. It's not like you can hide it, but people not only know where to find it now, but they don't even try to hide it anymore. And we're just like, we're okay with it. And
well, can you give me your thoughts on like PAC money and campaign election reform and stuff like that?
Campaign finance.
Yeah, I was say, I know Tim's gonna love this. That was what Tim's dissertation was on.
Yeah, that's
It's
my
like-
master's
Thank
thesis
you.
on
So
campaign
Tim,
finance.
you school me on this from what I say. If I say something that's ignorantly wrong, you just go ahead and school me. But
Okay.
cinema is a perfect example, and I'm gonna harp on a Democrat because I'm okay with holding
She's a
people in my
Democrat.
party. Yeah, right. I get you. You're right. But you know, it's quite obvious that she has pharma in her speed dial, that they're paying her money. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that that's affecting her vote here. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that shouldn't be the case. You shouldn't be able to accept PAC money from large corporations. You shouldn't be able to take money from corporations, period. The fact that this campaign laws have yet to be ratified in all 50 states is astounding to me. I think that what's that? And Tim, you may know this. I was just talking about this, and now I can't
Citizens
remember.
United.
The act that
Which one?
it's like 32 states have ratified this, or 20, maybe it's 20 something.
Is it like a clean elections thing, or
Yeah, it's the campaign thing where it protects, or it doesn't allow you the ability to take money or a certain amount of money from PACs, and it keeps corporations and big money donors out of campaigns.
I will have to look that up.
Dude, I was just talking about this the other day, and you guys are making me nervous with your fancy talking. And,
With all our fancy book learning.
but yeah, all that, you know, there should be none of that. And I intend, when I get elected, I intend on doing my best to get those laws passed as well, to make sure that we kind of turn around the people that we're electing and how they're getting elected.
So I have a running theme on the show where I only want one thing. Big Haas. What's up, big homie?
What's going on, guys? I'm sorry. I did not want to subject you to the savagery of my eating. I just got off work and I was starving, so I didn't want to besmirch my good name by showing you how I was eating just then. So,
What was it? And did you have silverware?
I've got leftover turkey, some stuffing, some shrimp, and
What the hell?
quinoa salad. And I'm about to wash it all down with some Aldi maple cookies that only come out around Christmas time. These are amazing. Don't hate on Aldi. These cookies are the bomb.
No, I'm good on Aldi. You can keep Aldi.
Oh yeah, you.
Yeah, I'm good. That's a hard pass.
So I've got a Jack and Ginger and a nice stogie. After a long day, I've been running around since 2:30. I just got home. So
In the morning?
No, not 2:30 in the morning. I was up at 5. I had clients earlier. I had a little break. Went and got my son, cleaned this stuff around the house, and then I had to get back at it. So
Cool. All right, Big House, you missed your fourth down territory question. So go ahead and put you on the spot. Haas, David Haas. Hit him, Big Haas.
4 down. Morgan, no.
Hey, you be nice to my friend.
She wants food. She wants food,
homie.
and I'm not giving her any food.
It's messed up.
All right. Which movie star do you get the most mistaken for?
No, I don't.
Oh, stop it.
Listen, when I grew my hair out, my brother-in-law once told me, when it was a little bit shorter, he caught me from an angle and he was like, you look like John Wick, man. It was the best. It must have been like the best angle that he's ever seen me in my life. I absolutely took it. I was like, this is the best day of my life. I'm John Wick. Hell yeah. But outside of that one angle, that one time, I'm luckily.
So nobody tells you to look like, Biker 7 on the TV show Mayans or anything like that?
No, not yet. But no, sir.
You look like the president of the Mayans, one of the Mayans chapters.
Okay.
I forget his name. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's odd.
Usually it's hard for me to get mistaken by for a celebrity, because celebrities are more times than not very beautiful people, man, and that escaped me in life.
Hey, my man Machete is pissed off right now at you.
I got you.
What is his name? That's not Machete. That's Tortuga, man, from Breaking Bad. What's his name, Tim? You know everything. Oh, what is it?
Who?
He was in Bubble Boy. Tortuga, the old Mexican guy.
Oh,
man. So look Mexican. Is that what you're saying? Is that what's happening here?
Danny Trejo, that's his name. Yeah.
All you Hispanics look alike.
Thank you, Q.
That's all I heard.
There's different colors of brown, man. You can't just lump them all in.
I may be white on the outside, but inside, I'm brown, man. What's that? Blood in, blood out.
Yeah. There's a difference between Tijuana and San Juan. Come on, man.
Right.
I've been to San Juan. I want to move to Puerto Rico so bad.
Do you really?
Yeah, man. It is so beautiful down there. I was like, can I just get a cart? Can I just get like a cart with a little bell on it, and I'll sell elote and fucking I'll do whatever you need me to do.
That's all you need, man.
Y'all need somebody to sweep up? I can sweep. I know how to. I'll sweep this whole street. Just let me stay here.
You sound like the mayor on Do the Right Thing.
Yes.
I had the cleanest street in Brooklyn.
Oh, thank you, Kay. Kay got it, and Constance got it. Oh, Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar's in the chat. That's a true thing I said. So what do we want to do here? Let's do a little sausage being made. Typically, David, we have a dig.
I hear some clicking. What's the clicking?
We don't know. We can't figure out what's going on. We had some tech issues today.
Okay.
But do we want David? We always. Yeah, it's you. But we're suffering through it. We're suffering through it. And Dutch, have fun editing this. Yeah, you should have been here. Then you would have, you could blame me for it or something. But we usually do like
let's not hate on him for something unavoidable like he does me.
This is the perfect time to strike.
No, his is more important than mine.
He'll understand. He understands that our abuse is out of love. So David, what we usually do is we have like a history topic that we dig up and dig on America's and we talk about it. So today was voter suppression. We don't want to hurt any candidates' chances or anything like that. So we always give you the if you want to hang out with us, or if you want to dip or anything like that. So it's completely up to you. Oh, you're muted again.
No, I'll kick it for a minute, man. I do feel bad that I'm causing the clicking sound, but let me hang for just a couple more minutes, please.
No. I'm saying you can stay all the way into the end, but we just give people the heads up. Like, I mean, voter suppression is very, very softball for candidates and stuff like that. But if we were talking about the lynching of so-and-so back in 1945, you may or may not want that popping up in the Google search. Like, and we totally understand that. Okay.
No worries.
Big House, did you have anything to throw on the dig? Because I got a couple of things that I can pull up.
No, like I said, I've been running all day, so I haven't had time to prepare like I should, like a professional.
Are we talking about voter ID laws?
Talk about the whole thing.
Oh, well, my name is Dutch, and my 8th grade history teacher, Mr. Hubble, taught me a lot of things that weren't true. I'm Dutch.
Wow.
This is how my voice sounds.
Yeah. So So we're just gonna bury Dutch. That's what we're gonna do right now.
Yes, it will make him feel better. It will bring him a sense of normalcy of just getting dogpiled on for absolutely no reason. So today's dig is about voter suppression. And I don't like the whole like I'm gonna talk for 9.5 minutes thing. Someone else on the show likes to do that. But colloquially, like Big House, what's your best like diction? You read the dictionary. What do you think Merriam-Webster or some sort of dictionary definition of voter suppression would be?
Let's see. Laws, statutes, tactics, and other subterfuge used to prevent certain groups of people for voting that are likely to vote for certain candidates of certain parties that are undesirable for those who are engaging in those tactics. And I made it a lot wordier than I needed to.
I was like, damn, you got the long dictionary.
I do have the long dictionary. My shit is unabridged.
You should check out the concordance for all the stuff that you need, what you're looking for. Tim, what say you?
Well, I got some Wikipedia here.
Ooh.
And the Wikipedia says that in the United States, elections are administered locally. Forms of voter suppression vary among jurisdictions. At the founding of the country, the right to vote in most states was limited to property-owning white males.
What?
That's what?
Standard.
Who would do that? Over time, the right to vote was formally granted to racial minorities, women, and youths. During the 19th and 20th centuries, southern states passed Jim Crow laws to suppress poor racial minority voters. Once again, why would anyone want to do that?
No.
If you let them vote, I mean, after that.
Yeah. I mean, but they use such tactics as poll taxes and literacy tests and grandfather clauses.
Now, listen, I have to charge money for the poll because I got a guy here. He took the whole day off of work. I got to make sure he's paid. There's electricity in here. I got these bills. I got a larger overhead for running this empty gymnasium. It's not in use barn.
Let's see. But most of those voter suppression tactics were made illegal after the enactment of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Even after the repeal of Jim Crow, that was implemented by the statutes, there have been repetitive incidents of racial discrimination against voters in southern states. Specifically,
wow, really? No.
Specifically in 2018, when 87.
Wait, say that year again. Say that year
2018.
Again. Yeah.
3 years ago.
Say it one more time.
3 years ago.
2000. What? 18. Not 1956. Not 1936. Not 1986. Not even 1996. 2018. For you fuckbags who keep telling people that this is all over with and everything is all equal again. I'm sorry, all equal for the first time.
In 2018, 87,000 people in Georgia were unable to vote because of late registration. Many of the states with the strictest voting regulations are, quote, swing states, which have been enacted primarily by politicians who represent the Republican Party. Once again, the Republicans, why would they want to do that?
You'd never know that the Republicans have been caught on tape saying that low voter turnout actually helps them win elections.
That's kind of their hallmark, as if they can make it unobtainable to the lesser plebeians. If I could just make sure the plebes stop voting.
God damn these feudal serfs.
Fetch my whipping boy. I'm upset now. So voter suppression is a strategy used to influence the outcome of an election by discouraging or preventing specific groups of people from voting. Tim, is this illegal?
Ooh, that's tricky. It depends on your definition of what is. So all the stuff that I talked about originally, like the poll taxes and literacy tests and the grandfather clauses, that stuff is now super legal. You can't do it. The voter ID laws, that's iffy. Some have been declared illegal because they've been found to specifically discriminate against minorities. Some are still Connecticut has voter ID laws. But Connecticut has a very large history of racism. But
I actually have a slide for just that. Here we go. And this is coming from aclu.org. Voter ID requirements limit the number of voters who are able to cast a ballot. And these are the states that have them. 8 states passed voter ID laws in 2011. So that was only 10 years ago. So it says here for our audio people, all voters, and there's a bunch of little pictures here. It says approximately 1 in 10 Americans do not have a government issued photo ID. That's not nothing. That's 350 million people that do not.
Even if it's just all voters, that's 1 voter out of every 10 for 260 million people.
Right. So it's not nothing. And then approximately 1 in 4 African Americans do not have a government issued photo ID. So what that translates into if they say, okay, fine, we'll throw out all the people who just don't have an ID. That's still going to negatively affect the Black community worse because there's a greater percentage of us that do not have that ID. We are overrepresented in this category. So if voter ID things start sticking in state to state to state to state, that's just doing further to disenfranchise the Black constituents of those districts and states.
Well, if we weren't the most murderous group of people in the United States,
oh my God,
Candace Owens out of her asshole,
man,
allegedly.
I don't even know why she puts lipstick on that fucking sphincter of a face.
Fuck her.
Yeah, dude, I'm so done. Her. I'm so done.
You money grubbing fucking bitch.
It's because like
it's campaigning to get people killed.
Yeah,
campaigning to get people killed by saying shit like that.
She needs more money. Suck it up, y'all.
What can I say to get back in front of a fucking camera?
Exactly that.
You trifling bitch. And I don't like, I don't throw stuff like that around. But dude, this woman, this Black person in name only, this bino, she is Stefania from Django. She's Steven's wife in Django. Fucking ass. And you can at me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Sorry.
At Dutch on Twitter.
I gotta pour some more Jack in my damn cup now.
You got them all riled up now.
You
got my pressure up.
We keep it up. He gonna faint. Blood pressure spike, just fall out.
I had to freshen my drink and take a puff.
Allow me to interject here.
Yes, sir.
For Big Haas to say everything he just said in the last 30 seconds, I feel like there's not enough of that type of passion or anger, especially in the Democratic Party, guys. It's okay that we're kind. It's okay that we are looking out for the well-being of society. That's what we represent. But we have to start getting louder, man. We have to start.
Where's the Black Democratic Caucus? Where's the where are these people at when she says some shit like that? To like jump on megaphones and just
some of the shit that has come out of Congress people's mouths on the right side have been so obscene to us, but because they try to mask it under a religion or a belief, it's we're being outrageous. We're just we're allowing somebody to be mean, and just because people are mean, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of us just having to walk on eggshells.
And we don't have to, and that's the problem.
I'm tired of it. We're done.
I love Michelle Obama. I think she's the
Legit.
greatest.
Legit.
But that when they go low, we go high shit. Fuck that. Sometimes you need to kick a motherfucker back in the nuts.
You start thinking about that, and you start thinking about the difference between Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. How both of them wanted the same damn things, but Malcolm X was sick and tired of being sick and tired, and of being nice, and of trying to play the mitigator of.
But here's something a lot of people don't understand, that a lot of people cherry pick what Martin Luther King said. But guess what? When he talked about defending your home, he definitely was like, hey, you have your gun at your crib, but when you come out for this march, you don't. But if somebody come to your house and is trying to hurt you, I just
mean the overall perception of what we believe or what America believes Martin Luther King was versus because they called Malcolm X, some people even called him a terrorist because he was angry. Right?
Angry black man.
Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he be?
You see what I'm saying?
It's
time for us to get a little loud, man. And I just wanted to say that about your rant there, because a lot of people are like, well, he's getting riled up. A big black guy.
Yeah. Guess what?
Shit. Hide your babies.
That's what needs to happen. That's what needs to happen.
Exactly what needs to happen, sir. That's exactly what needs to happen.
Because the longer you let people say that, and they, no, somebody needs to come. Hey, I wish somebody with some type of platform would come on TV and say that bitch is fucking crazy, and she is campaigning to get her own people killed by saying dumbass shit like that, and she's a dumbass, and she's money chasing. And guess what? Before Trump ran for president, she was anti-Trump. Now here she is chasing checks. She's a fucking ambulance chaser in a skirt. Fucking bitch.
and David, we're not shocked because Haas is on a rant. It's just because Haas he's just so cool, right? Yeah, it's cool, but then there's only a few issues and a few people that can really set him off. So it's always welcome when it shows up.
Man, I'm glad she don't live in this neighborhood. I'm glad she don't live in this neighborhood.
Be quiet.
Because I've been talking to her. I'm not talking about hurting her.
No, don't say nothing else. Don't say nothing else.
Phone calls would be made.
Yes, you would call her, or you
give her a piece of my mind.
If
I saw her at Aldi getting maple cookies, we'd be having a conversation in line.
You would tweet voraciously at her direction.
Yes. Fucking bitch, all caps. In every font I can think of.
What's the difference? And have some metallics on
that
this
shit
one.
would be in motherfucking Times New Roman, Calabria, all that shit. Goddamn everything.
Shout out to the best font ever, Calibri.
No. Helvetica, dude.
Nah, see. We built different.
Sans serif.
Comic Sans.
Tim, you would say Comic Sans. The typical Tim troll answer, Comic Sans.
Comic Sans me some damn grilled cheese over here, man. That's what I'm talking about.
So people have heard what we thought of voter suppression thus far, but one thing that, election integrity is now a thing because somebody
1%.
Because somebody wanted to say that he had his election stolen from him. Crybaby bitch.
You know what's funny is the people that got the reward money from that Republican in Arizona, I think it was, or Texas, was Republican people that caught Republicans doing voter fraud. Wasn't that interesting?
Turned them in for cash. No
cigarette truck, straight cash.
But before Chester Cheeto decided to whine about it, we had an instance of severe voter suppression when it came to my homegirl, Stacey Abrams, Let me pull this up real quick.
I think that's what I was talking about. The 87,000 people that were unable to vote.
Stacey Abrams did an episode on NPR. Elisa or Isla, yeah, we'll say that. Isla Chang talks first. Here we go.
What do you say to people who do see parallels between your position on election integrity in 2018 and Trump's position in 2020?
So let's start with the baseline. There's election integrity and then there's voter suppression. They are not the same thing. Voter suppression is whether or not every person who is eligible to participate in our elections has the ability to do so, or whether they are prevented from doing so or discouraged from doing so by the state. It is absolutely incontrovertible that what I argued for was more people being permitted to participate in the process, which is the fundamental nature of democracy, and Trump and his allies fighting tooth and nail to deny the right to vote to millions of Americans.
But are you at all concerned that vocalizing your concerns about election integrity eroded people's confidence in election integrity?
I've never used that phrase because election integrity is the code word. It is the dog whistle that they use today to justify denying access to the right to vote. In fact, you find the very same people, including Gabe Sterling, arguing for further restrictions on access to the right to vote using this false narrative of election integrity. And in the wake of this false narrative, we are watching attempts to restrict the access to vote in the state of Georgia, 50 different bills that are doing nothing but trying to restrict access. And each time their only justification is that people don't like the outcome of the 2020 election.
Well, there you go. Well said, young lady. Well said. Tim, your thoughts?
I mean, she's right. I mean, there is a difference between election integrity and voter fraud. And election integrity is a dog whistle for Republicans. It always has been. And they've always had this argument of election integrity going all the way back to, God, I don't even know, 2000 and the Bush v. Gore thing. It's Republican speak for basically, I don't like how this election is run. And
oh, wait a minute, I'm losing.
Because they didn't win. If you don't win, it was snatched.
And honestly, if they want to fix that problem, they should not have states run elections the way they do. There should be a standard for how people vote. There should be a standard for voting machines. There should be a standard for how states handle elections. None of that stuff exists. It's however the states want to do it, and honestly, however the towns want to do it. Your local registrar of voters can just do whatever they want. So election integrity it's a ridiculous argument.
Is it like black on black? Is it like black on black crime where it's just kind of made up to just talk
and
about
then if you start talking about, well, okay, if you want to really, if you start talking about nationalizing voting protocols, then government overreach.
Yeah. But like different towns are using different voting machines. Like that's how crazy it is.
Yeah. And if you notice also now in some of these swing states like Michigan and stuff, they're trying to oust the voting officials. And put in these people that will be faithless voters.
Yeah, the secretaries of states, they're trying to, and that's a problem too, because the Secretary of State, even though it's a political position, shouldn't be politicized. That's like just an executive elected official, and their job is to do elections. Like that's all they do. And the Trump people have made it a big political thing that these secretaries of states need to get out of here so we can get people that we want in there who will go our way when we think things are going wrong.
I need somebody to stick their thumb on the scale just at the right moment.
No, these people obviously didn't vote for the right person they meant to vote for.
They want someone who, when Trump calls them and says, I need to find 17,000 votes, can you help me out? They'll be like, sure, bro. Whatever you want.
Oh, I just remembered that actually fucking happened. I just remembered that.
It really happened.
It really happened.
On audio tape. The man said, "We need to find these votes."
Oh,
And he
my
kept saying the
God.
exact number of votes he needed.
Yeah.
Hey, we need to just find these votes. Is there a way we can find these votes? And nobody none of his supporters are like,
That's weird.
bullshit. That's illegal.
Can he do that?
Can the president call the Secretary of State of a state and say, "Hey, man, I need you to find some votes for me. I'm the president." Isn't that something? Isn't that called an abuse of something?
Oh, for sure. And I believe that the state of Georgia is taking him to court for that. It's just taking a long time.
I mean, and this is what kills me is that a lot of his supporters don't see anything wrong with that.
No,
They don't
'cause
see
they'll
anything
say-
wrong with him calling the Michigan officials down to Mar-a-Lago or the White
Mhm.
House or whatever. You know, what do you think he was doing? Having tea and crumpets with him?
Absolutely. Who doesn't like a good crumpet and 20,000
You know,
votes when
hey
I need
man,
some?
I know that you guys are in the process of certifying this election, but come on down to the White House. Let me holler at you for a minute because it looks like I might be losing.
You know what? Make his a double.
You know,
Drinks are on me tonight, guys. Drinks are on me.
there's nothing abusive powery or anything about that.
Well, I mean, it's bribery. And trust me, as a retail manager, I use bribery all the time. I use it because it works. That's why it's illegal in a lot of capacities. But if I can talk somebody in with to doing an opening shift, or I say I got an ice cold monster waiting on you when you show up.
People come in for a monster, dude.
It's like, oh, that's so real. I was like, yeah, man, but I got that monster for you, and you'll be home by 12. You take a power nap, you're back on the game at 4:00, man. You got to know how to reach out to the kids and talk to them.
I used to do that shit all the time.
I'm like,
I do
yeah,
love a good power nap. I do love a good 15-minute power nap.
you'll be right back on Halo Infinite before you know it, buddy. You'll be right on.
I used to do it when I was a manager at Panera. I'd be like, listen, someone so and so called out. I need you to come in. It's only going to be for like 2 hours, and I'll get you some free food.
I will feed. Which way? Sausage biscuit. I will Uber Eats that shit right now. Say the word.
I had to buy pizza once for my entire staff because they were all working on Super Bowl Sunday and they hated it.
Yeah, that's a bad day. I wouldn't think that like Super Bowl fans would be like, you know, it sounds good after the tailgate. A fucking panini.
Goddamn avocado toast sounds good right about now.
It really goes good with Bush Light.
Wow, Bush Light.
It was that Falcons Patriots game too.
Oh, the one where the Falcons screwed the pooch?
Yeah.
That was crazy. That was a cataclysmic failure on their behalf. Right, they should just burn the whole organization down after that.
Bulldoze it, start over.
I'd have been like, hey, I'd have been like Oprah. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. The janitor's fired. Fucking the dude throwing hot dogs. You're fired. I would have fired everybody if I was the owner.
Not the hot dog man.
Dude, the hot dog man, the beer slinger, all of the cheerleaders. Everybody would have been fired, dude. Everybody would have been fired. The people that squirt Gatorade in their mouths, I'd have fired them fuckers too. Everybody would have been fired to that shit. They was up, 35 to something? 35 to 7 or 35 to 3?
It was 28-3 at halftime.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
And they let Tom Brady come back and tie it, and Patriots won in overtime.
That's the dumbest shit ever.
I'm moving out of Atlanta. I'll lose that game.
Dude,
I'm not going back.
Atlanta should be a ghost town.
I'm talking about I know we just lost, but I was on my phone. I hired some movers. Can someone give them the movers the key so they can just box my shit up? I'm finna go live out
I'm
here.
I'm not coming back. I'm about to move to Anchorage or some shit.
Yeah, let me. Hawaii sounds nice this time of year.
Where are you from? Not Atlanta.
No.
Fuck out of here.
I'm from Tallahassee.
That was the craziest shit. That was some of the crazy. That was like the Buffalo Bills and Houston Oilers, where Frank Wright brought them back from 35-3 in a playoff game to win. And it was second half.
Shit.
Yeah,
That's
the backup
crazy.
quarterback for the Bills brought the Bills back. It was 35-3, dude.
Was that Flutie?
No,
It
it was Jim
Flutie?
Kelly,
Mm.
and he got hurt, or he didn't even start the game. Or no, he came in and Frank Wright came in the second half. Frank Wright's now the coach of the Indianapolis Colts, by the way. But
Wow.
yeah, that was on that level. But in the Super Bowl, so even more pressure. There's no way that should have happened.
Nope.
I have a small NFL story.
Tell
the
it.
only reason I like the Buffalo Bills to this day is because if you remember Tecmo Super Bowl on regular Nintendo,
Mm-hmm.
that was the first team. So I'd always beat them because I was an immature little kid. And I just like spamming the A button. I was like, come on, I want to play. And
So you was getting it in with Thurman Thomas.
that was my favorite player for years. And I even had a poster of that was the only sports poster I ever had. And it was Thurman Thomas.
Thermal. They used to call him Thermal.
Yeah. I don't know why I like the Bills, but I really, really did. Other than I just hit A first.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Location, everybody. That's what you need. And shout out to the greatest football game of all time, Tecmo Super Bowl.
Oh, the first
Yeah.
Tecmo Bowl. With
Nah,
Steve
Super Bowl.
DeBerg doing the play action passing for Kansas City, and Big Christian Okoye and Bo Jackson. The Bo Jackson.
No, you can't. No one can beat the Raiders if you play them. That's cheating. Bo Jackson was a cheat code.
And the 45-degree cuts.
Oh yeah,
The
for sure.
45-degree cuts, baby. Oh yeah.
Well,
You
of
see the
course-
dudes going like this.
the lunge dive tackle. No, man, you would always get it to the 1 yard line against the computer, drop all the way back to the back of your end zone,
Yes.
and just fling it.
Just fling it. 100
And
yards.
100 yard pass on a 1 yard gain. Because reasons. David was having more tech issues, so he has departed for the evening, but it will be in the show notes and it is in the chat if you guys want to go over and support his campaign or give him a follow over on Twitter. Yes, those things.
So I have a very simple answer to this voter suppression thing, and it's automatic voter registration. Everyone who's over 18 is just automatically registered to vote. End of story.
Right.
You can pick your party later if you want,
Right.
Yeah. If you
but
need
you're
to.
automatically registered to vote as an unaffiliated voter
Yes.
as soon as you turn 18. Then there's no problem. There's none of
guess
this
what?
purging of the voter rolls or anything.
These motherfuckers know when you turn 18. Trust me.
Because they want you in the draft.
Yeah.
I remember that shit. As soon as I turned 18, they're like, you got to sign up for the draft.
You got to sign up for selective service.
Selective. I was trying to think of what that fucking
Selective service.
bullshit fucking.
It's not selective if it's fucking mandatory that you do it.
No, they're selective in picking your ass to go over in the fucking cat box. Ugh. Oh shit, I just lost it. Close that on accident.
Hey,
but,
what's that on your green screen there? Is that the Milky Way or is that what's that behind you there? Morgan, shut the fuck up.
Oh, Morgan, you say whatever you want, you beautiful little. Morgan is the cutest. What is she? A lab pit mix?
She is an Amstaff. She's an American Staffordshire Terrier.
Oh,
It's getting on my goddamn nerves right now, begging for food.
she's adorable.
And she's looking at me. You should see how she's looking at me right now.
Just the saddest little thing. She just has her little tin cup. She's scraping it across the bars.
Palms for the poor.
Oh,
Palms for the poor.
Please, sir, they don't feed me at home.
Right. You would think that she does not eat.
No.
She's standing here looking at me like she hasn't eaten all day, like I haven't thrown her 3 pieces of turkey breast.
Oh, yeah. See, you messed up. You gave her something too good. I just started giving my dog like vegetables because I'm like, oh, you want something? And I throw him a vegetable. And he's like,
nah, bro.
All right. And then he just takes this little piece of lettuce. And he's like, ugh. But he likes carrots and shit, though.
See, my dogs love lettuce and they love frozen bell peppers.
What?
Yeah.
I'm not-
Apparently, so I have 2 pugs, and one of them absolutely loves frozen bell peppers. Like, he gave it to him once
Really?
as like a joke, and he ate it, and he was like, "Can I have another?" And it was just, he likes it in the summer. It's like a good icy treat for him.
He's trying to stay in shape, you know.
Right.
That's his
Right.
snacks. I just snack on a bell pepper or two.
But they both love lettuce.
So here I found it. So what you're what you're talking about, Tim, with like the voter registration, that's one of the main ways to suppress people's votes is if you make the registration process harder, you make it on and only in certain locations on certain
Right.
days, and it becomes a problem because I remember being in St. Louis. I had a rough decade there in my 20s into my early 30s where I didn't have a car. I was working like minimum wage jobs. I'm like couch surfing with people, and I would just use my passport to like buy liquor and cigarettes and stuff like that. Well, then when my passport expired, and then I wanted to get a driver's license, and like, oh, well, you have tickets in Illinois, and I'm like, well, shit, I can't get up there to pay that, and then they want court dates and all this. Like, well, can I just get a state ID? He's like, yeah, you can have a state ID, and it was like under $10. It took almost 2 months to show up. So it's and that same process, and now the DMV's up here in Illinois. You can register to vote right at the DMV.
Yeah,
that's very fucking convenient, but also it's not very convenient going to the fucking DMV.
Nope.
Like, and I don't know what it's like over there in Connecticut, dude, but
our DMVs suck.
The lines for the DMV are hours long.
Yeah.
Like a light day is like 2.5 hour wait.
So because of COVID, they changed the system to you have to schedule an appointment with the DMV to get down there.
Right.
And even then, it's still an hour wait because they do everyone in time slots, in 15-minute time slots. So it's like 20 people who showed up for 10 a.m. and then another 20 showed up for 10:15. They're still cramming people in there. Like, it's ridiculous.
Right. And all of COVID's definitely not helping in this, but it shouldn't be so hard to register to vote, because what do you need to register to vote? Just be a citizen?
Yeah, and in some states you have to show some sort of ID.
Just to prove that you're who you say you are, and that you're
male or whatever.
Right. Hey, guess what? Bring that fucking ComEd bill. ComEd know who the fuck you are. You know?
Nicor knows
Nicor knows who you are.
Ask Comcast.
Hassan, Stevenson. These motherfuckers know who I am.
Sprint been able to find my ass for 3 years.
Right. I don't understand why they don't take a fucking cell phone bill. For real, them motherfuckers they know who you are and where you are. Ask them motherfuckers who keep calling about my extended home warranty.
Where is he registered to fucking vote?
Right. Oh, Hassan, that's him. That's him.
Yeah, I usually call him right when he's taking his shit and right before breakfast.
Right.
right
after the coffee and shit.
I just call him nonstop. I know he got his phone on him.
Right.
I was going to show you guys the Connecticut online voter registration stuff, but apparently it's down until tomorrow. It's currently unavailable.
Of course. And people love to parse things out, not understanding or pretending not to understand how it works together to suppress votes and to exclude people. So what they'll do is, you got to have a government issued ID, but your state housing ID doesn't count. Right. So you got to go to the DMV and get an ID. But we're going to close down all the DMVs within 10 miles of your area. So now you got to drive 25 miles to the DMV. Wait, but a lot of impoverished people don't have fucking cars.
Yeah.
And public transportation doesn't go that far. So how you going to get to the DMV? It's just like closing down all the polling stations but one in the most populated portion of a city. You know what I mean? That just happens to be kind of sort of by accidentally on purpose, mostly black. You know, it's 500,000
They're
people.
murderous, Haas. They're murderous.
There's 500,000 people in this area, but they only got one polling station. Meanwhile, I could go. There's like 4 or 5 different polling stations right here in the Joliet, Crest Hill, Bolingbrook, Lockport area. You know what I mean? Where everybody can go vote. Right? I know that in Lockport, there's 3 places you can go vote. 3 or 4 places you can go vote right in Lockport. Fuck out of here.
Just about every school is a polling place.
Right. And people try to act like they don't understand. All it is an ID. No, it's the ID plus the closing down of the DMVs, plus the closing down of the polling stations, plus this, plus not accepting the state housing ID that you need to have to for your apartment that might be subsidized by the government and things like that. All of those things work in concert. It's not like the old days when they could say, fuck off, Blackie, you can't come vote. Now racism has not gone anywhere. It has only evolved and clouded and hid under the shadow of thinly plausible deniability. And you fuckers out there try to act like you don't see it, but you do. And you defend white supremacy and things like that while acting like you're a Christian. And you know that shit ain't Christian. If you are supposedly a Christian, you know that shit ain't Christian because you know how things work. You know how the engine of the train and then the other cars work together to deliver things to a destination. But you act like everything is an individual silo. You fuckers. Fuck you.
Because they know exactly who that's going to hurt.
Exactly. They know it's not them, so it's okay.
It's like, well, I can do it easily. And maybe and I'll even cut them, I'll shoot them a little bail here. Maybe they just think it's that easy. But if you think things are that easy, yet all these people are complaining about it and saying that it is going to suppress people's right to vote, perhaps
they're just being lazy. They're just being lazy.
Perhaps you're misguided on that. Perhaps you're wrong. If it is as easy as you say, where you just walk in, pay them $10, and then they mail you a thing in a couple of business days. If it was that easy, do you think everybody would be complaining about it? What kind of mass delusion must everybody else be in?
The same one that believes that there's racism and white privilege in the first place. You're being hypersensitive. You're just looking for stuff. Just like that kid who shot up the school the other day.
Right.
That they arrested without incident.
Again.
You know that he one of the Golden Girls, and I ain't gonna tell you which one. I ain't gonna tell you the actress that played the one of them, Betty White. They come on.
Yeah.
Because, I remember a dude whose car broke down and the cops come and they put him up against the car and his hands are up like this and his hands lowered just a little bit and he got blasted. Right? But you can go shoot up a school and get arrested without incident. And then they're like, he is not cooperating with police. His parents have said are telling him not to cooperate, and they're going to hire a lawyer.
Oh. No.
Must be nice. Just
cooperation.
You just killed 3 people, dude, and wounded 5 or 6 other people.
The 4th kid died.
You just took someone's child from them. And they're like, oh, he's not cooperating. Yeah. And in other news.
Well, maybe they can stop by Burger King on the way like they did for the last mass shooter.
Well, he wasn't the last one.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say it's probably not even accurate anymore.
No. That guy was a long time ago. But it's so interesting how people act like they don't see and they don't hear and they don't see the differences that are out here right in everybody's face. You know what I mean? Right in everybody's face. You can't tell me that if the admitted multiple rapist who admitted to raping women at his parents' house told a girl, if you stop fighting, it won't hurt as much, stuff like that, who got probation, you can't tell me if his name was Tyrone Johnson, he would have got probation. You think, and the judge had the nerve to say that he agonized over what to do and he actually prayed about it before he let this fucking piece of shit go with probation. You can't tell me that that judge would have done that if his name was Tyrone Jackson and he was a big old black dude, looked like me.
Right. He wouldn't have made it to court, that's for sure.
Right.
Wouldn't have made it to court. What was this thing?
So don't tell me that there's no privilege. You
Well,
know,
it's the same,
because
it's the
Brock
same
Turner,
thing.
Brock Turner got 6 months for doing shit so bad behind a dumpster to a passed out woman that the people who caught him, they broke down in court testifying about it. The shit he was doing to that girl.
Those foreign exchange students, yeah.
6 months. They broke down in tears. And the judge gave him 6 months because he didn't want to hurt his pride. Jail's not for him. The judge told the truth. The judge told the truth. He messed up and told the truth. Hey, we didn't make these jails for him. We made these jails for other people who got caught with an ounce of weed or something.
The worst crime.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing with Rittenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me
if Rittenhouse had a Black Lives Matter shirt on when he shot them people. Do you think the celebration would have been as widespread as it was among the right? Do you think the judge would have been letting him do what he was letting him do and letting the prosecution do what they were? I mean, the defense do what they were doing. You know, do you think that if Kyle Rittenhouse was Kyle Jackson, that they would have been like, "Oh, you can't call the people that got shot victims"?
Yeah, or if he wasn't a white kid, he wouldn't have been allowed to stroll around with his assault rifle.
Right.
Yeah, he wouldn't have made it that far.
Be like,
Yeah.
okay, bye.
Exactly.
Because what was that in Texas? The dude had his AR slung across his chest. Something went on down the road. I think that was when that guy was holed up inside that convention center or something like that, and they sent the bomb robot in there, and he wasn't nowhere near the gunshot, standing next to the cop when it happened. Still disarmed him, still arrested him, still did the whole thing. We just want to be sure.
Yeah, just gotta be sure because you are black.
Even though you're standing next to me and the shots are way down the street, I'm still, yeah, come on. You just
The
come
absence
with
of
me anyway.
evidence is not evidence of absence.
I don't know what kind of bullets is in there.
Right.
Come on.
You got them magic black bullets.
And
Black
the
magic.
January 6th insurrectionists.
Oh,
they're
don't
just
even get me started.
They were just passing through, man. They just wanted a tour of the Capitol.
Hey, guess what? Let Black Lives Matter have ran up on the halls of the Capitol like those insurrectionists ran up on the Capitol. How many bodies do you think would be on the steps? How many bodies do you think they would still be cleaning blood up off the steps of the Capitol?
They'd be redoing the carpet for sure.
Dude, it would have been precious people. It would have been precious few people that got inside that Capitol if they were Black Lives Matter, melanated people storming the Capitol. You tell me, you sit there with a straight face and tell me that a bunch of people that look like me would have been able to get inside the Capitol and steal Nancy Pelosi's laptop and take a lectern home.
I remember
and go home and go to sleep in their bed.
I remember all of the noose gallows that were being put up at Black Lives Matter protests. I do. Oh wait, nope, that was the 6th.
Oh yeah, you think if the Black Lives Matter protests were chanting,
hang Mike Pence.
They would have gone easy on him.
No, Black Lives Matter.
We had one Black Lives Matter person chanting "Fry the pigs" or something like that at one rally. one.
Oh,
And
pigs in a blanket.
They
fried
keep
Mike
bringing
Bacon.
that up. They keep bringing it up, but conveniently forget that their friends were hollering, "Hang Mike Pence," and "Where's Nancy Pelosi?" and stuff, and looking for AOC.
And
Yeah.
smearing their shit on the walls.
Yeah, smearing shit on the wall during their tour.
And erected a literal gallows.
Oh, I'm just giggling because you said erected. I'm sorry. That's
Pause.
that's
They
childish.
didn't mean they didn't
It
mean
was
any of that. Isn't it
the-
funny how when certain folk do stuff, it's always minimized. When other folks do stuff, it's magnified with a Hubble telescope.
The noose was symbolic.
Oh
It
yeah,
was performance art.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You don't even get it. You don't even get
You're
it.
just not deep enough. You're just not.
You're not there, man.
You're just not there,
don't
man.
you see?
Right.
You don't see.
You don't
That's
see
all
it.
you-
I'm sorry.
Listen, I heard they just wanted to see the Capitol building, and they were just,
but they got the tour the day before.
Yeah.
A lot of them got the tour the day before. They had blueprints and stuff. They was like, "Oh no, we go around here, and that's how we get back there." How you think they know that?
I forget which show it was. It might have been here when we were doing the coverage of January 6th. And I fucking pulled up the Google Maps and I saw like remember fuckboy who had the taser on him, who was climbing up the wall and fell off and tased.
They put the sonic rings on him?
No, he tased himself. And I think
I didn't see that. Oh god, no, that wasn't this show.
He tased himself, and I think he gave himself a heart attack and died.
Oh
Jesus.
Something like that. So then I'm like looking on the thing, and then I see like the little arm hand hole thingies where I was like, oh, that's where they was climbing up. Like 5 feet to the right, big giant staircase that's like fucking 50 feet across. I'm like, why were you climb? Never mind. Why am I asking these questions? Why am I asking these questions? Do I want to know?
It was
Probably not.
World War Q.
Oh my god! I'm like, he's literally like trying to climb a 30-foot cement wall when there is a giant staircase. That explains everything I needed to know.
Yep.
That explains it right there. Let's see here. Oh, what was this? I'm still on this ACLU.org website. Oh, election day. That's what I kept forgetting to bring up. Are y'all in favor of making election day a federal holiday that everyone gets off of work?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
And I think,
hell yeah.
And I
Why
think
isn't it? Why isn't it? You know something? There's so many things that the rest of the developed world has that we don't, like universal health care. Election days in democratic countries are federal holidays where everybody gets off work, so they don't have to choose between paying their bills,
right,
and doing their civic duty. Anyway,
he said duty.
Why are we constantly calling ourselves the greatest country in the world, but we're so bass backwards in so many ways that other people have, like infrastructure. Our infrastructure is horrible compared to the rest of the developed world. Our educational system, our medical system, all of these things are flagging behind the rest of the developed world, but we have this arrogance about us. And I love this country, but we got pimples that we need to put some fucking Clearasil or something on.
Noxzema.
Put something on it. We need to do it. We need to exfoliate as a country. Okay? We need to do some exfoliation. For real. We need to put a night mask on and get the Biore strips, and pull those blackheads out. Because we got some work to do.
Whoa. What you mean the blackheads?
The blackheads, the ones that come out and look like little worms.
Oh, so the blacks gotta just leave. You just gonna say get rid of the blacks is what you.
But we exfoliate to get the other stuff.
Yeah, I think he said you gotta exfoliate the blacks.
He's just talking about for black wide exfoliation.
Yeah. We got a Sammy Sosa this country.
I don't think Home Depot has enough plaster of Paris. Or as I don't know what Sammy got the plug on plaster of Paris.
racist white folks that know Sammy Sosa. He's right. That man is talking sense.
Poor fool. That's all I can think is poor fool.
Oh my God, Sammy Sosa is like, he's pink. He's
Mm.
literally pink.
Man, I pulled a picture of Lil Kim the other day. I almost broke
Oh
my
my
heart.
God, it broke my
Almost
heart.
broke my
She
heart. I
breaks
was
my
like,
heart every time I see her. I'm like,
Mhm.
you used to be golden, baby. Oh, she used to be so fine.
Mhm.
But this society, that's what it does.
How,
That's what it does. It
how does everyone
picks at
feel
you.
about early voting?
Early voting.
Why not?
works.
Why not?
I mean, and if we're not going to get the day, then
Yeah.
you should have like maybe on the weekends or something like that. It's like an all day affair, 24
Yeah.
hour.
You should be able to vote. And that's the thing, is because guess what? For a lot of people on election day, they're piece of shit managers like, no, you got to come in.
Yeah.
And you got to work this double shift. Or you got to work these 14 hours or 12 hours. And we know that the polls will be closed by the time you leave. And that's another thing when we talk about polling stations and
Right.
long waits. You know, oh, yeah, I don't have to be at work until 9, so I'm going to go at 7 when the polls open, but everybody else has to go at 7.
Everybody
So
got the same
now,
idea.
in 90 minutes, it's 8:30, and now you got to get out of line and go to work. So there goes your vote. Suppression. And people act like, oh, no. There's, but it's so funny that when they do an analysis of wait times, the longer wait times due to lack of available polling stations, somehow always tends to be in areas with a predominant population of marginalized communities. And then you go a few miles down the road in these other areas, and they wait 15, 20, 30 minutes. Meanwhile, there's other people waiting 5-6 hours merely 4 miles away.
And this is just hypothetical here. Can we start voting from our phones?
Oh no, that's rife with fraud.
Ooh,
Is
That's
it?
rife with
Is it
fraud.
though?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're talking about voting over the internet. That's
I don't know about
it's-
that one, homie.
I mean, for what I do at the polling place, it's not the most secure thing ever. But I mean, your bank knows who you are, right? They know.
Yeah.
They have you have the 2AF, what is it? Second something?
Two-factor authentication.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2FA. Like, why not?
it's hackable on the other end. When you send it, when you send the vote, it's hackable on that side.
Well, everything's hackable, but
That's why voting machines shouldn't ever be hooked up to the internet.
So, no, it's fine. It'll be fine. Just put this. Once you're done setting up, just plug this Ethernet cable in, and we're all good to go there, Chief.
But that's part of the problem. There's so many different kinds of voting machines, and they're always trying to come out with the new latest technology for voting machines. I know that sounds like ridiculous, but there are voting machines that don't do a paper printout of the votes that were cast, and that's a problem because there's no paper trail.
Right.
It's all electronically stored, and that's an issue. Like I said, everyone has different voting machines. Like at my polling places, they use the Scantron things. You fill in all the bubbles and you feed it into a machine. It scans your vote. So there's a hard copy of your vote, and there's also a scan. But back in the day, it was you had to pull down the tabs on who you wanted to vote for, and it would punch the holes in the ballot for you. And that was the big problem in the 2000 election, because in Florida, some of the hole punching machines wouldn't punch all the way, and they didn't know whether they voted for Gore or Bush because there were like
the hanging chads.
The hanging chads.
I was trying to think of a really good hanging chads joke. I got nothing. I got a cell phone. Whose cell phone's next to their mic? Who is it?
Not me.
I hear the clicks.
Whose cell phone touched the mic?
Someone's there. It went away. We all moved them, so we'll never know who it actually was.
It was all of us, Fredo.
It was all a dream. Go ahead.
I was going to say, until they standardize voting machines, there's always going to be problems.
Okay, another theory. You guys didn't like my online voting thing. Trial by combat.
Oh,
For
we
the-
gotta get
for the
we gotta get the
candidates?
mountain. We gotta go get the mountain.
Half Thor.
Do the candidates have to fight to the death? Because I'm never running for office again.
Tim, I think your chances are pretty good.
I don't know, man.
Well, how about we make them do American Gladiators?
Okay.
Oh, they fire the tennis balls at you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gotta
Those
choose
tennis
a
balls are
coastal
going
thing.
85 miles an hour.
And you got to
Nah,
get like
here's-
you got to get the Q-tip and be on the little rotating log and doof 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 doof. Do that
No,
whole
here's-
thing.
here's
Little
what'll
pugilism.
separate. Here's what'll separate the candidates. Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that was a good
I'm
show.
out. I'm out. I don't even know what that is.
That was the Nickelodeon like Indiana Jones themed, esque game show. It was
Oh,
it was
really?
awesome. It was awesome.
Mm.
I love. I wanted to be on that show so bad, and when a Vivitar camera,
A
it was-
Vivitar. Wow. God damn.
I had to show that. I had to show that to her. She's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "It's the best thing that ever happened to you. That's what this is.
It's the Vivitar, bitch.
This shit is off the chain. Takes one
Shit.
AAA battery
The Vivitar joint.
with film."
I remember my grandma used to take pictures with camera that used flash cubes.
Wow.
Yeah. She had, she'd be like, we'd be ready to go somewhere. She'd be like, go get me a box of flash cubes out the
The Barracudas.
she give me a box of flash cubes out the pantry, baby. And the thing, it was like you hit the button and the cube would flash and it would rotate to the next one. So you could take it was 4 sides. That's how old I am. Flash cubes in this motherfucker. 8-track tapes.
I'm pretty sure you just made that up.
No. Go ahead and Google up flash cubes.
No, it's a real thing. It
And
happened.
laser disc. Remember laser disc? Who remembers that?
We had it at school.
The
We
records.
never had one.
Had freaking records. That lasted for like what, 2 years, and it was done.
Yeah. VHS
It
was like,
just-
you're out of here.
And, and Beta was better quality than VHS, but VHS made that deal with Sony.
I
they
mean,
had better marketing.
it was
Yes.
all garbage. Like, can you even measure the resolution on those old films?
Oh, the pictures are
No.
terrible.
It was like 420. It was like 420p or 480p equivalent.
Yeah.
Like it was just bad. But
Hey,
it was
man.
But it was all we had.
Hey, ain't nothing like some good sushi on a VHS tape though.
Ain't nothing like it.
Ain't nothing like
That
Emmanuel
grain.
Emmanuel the Queen on VHS.
Oh, I don't know what that means. What's that you say? Humidor.
Oh,
Welcome to the Humidor with Big Haas. Find out what Haas is puffing and drinking tonight. If you try his suggestion and you die, that is natural selection. And the DOA
Baby.
podcast is not responsible for you being weak fucking sauce. So now, the one, the only, Big Haas.
Big Haas. What you smoking? What you drinking?
oh. All right, I'm smoking. I don't know what to call this. I'm trying to figure out how to describe this cigar. It's from a big name, Oliva, and this is the Crafted by Oliva. It is a Toro. It's 6-inch by 50 ring gauge. Okay, and I must confess, I've been leading y'all astray because I said the ring gauge before was in millimeters, but it's actually in 64ths of an inch.
Oh my
50.
God. Oh my.
I know. I was reading. I was doing some reading And
What?
yeah, I was doing some reading,
That's
and
not possible.
What it said was it said many people believe that it's the ring gauge is in millimeters, but it's actually in 64ths of an inch. So 50 is 50/64. So it's almost a full inch in circumference here.
I've never felt so betrayed or lied to. My whole world has been brought down around me.
So what I'm smoking is the Crafted by Oliva. And that's just the name of it, Crafted by. The Oliva Crafted by cigar. Now, it is what they would call, well, you know something?
What?
The wrapper is a sun-grown Habano, but the binder and the filler are, as Dutch would say,
Nicaragua.
yes. Okay. Now, I want to call this a puro because even the wrapper seed was grown in Nicaragua as well. But I hesitate to do that because, but everything is grown on the Oliva farms. Okay. And when I say I don't know how to describe this cigar, you almost want to call it one of their bargain cigars because the price point is so attractive. But it's a better quality than a regular bargain cigar. So you'd be smoking really good if you smoked this cigar. I just dropped ash all over my keyboard. But that's okay. The show goes on. It's a medium cigar, really good aroma. Got a little bit of earthiness to it, spiciness. I am drinking Jack and Ginger with it. So the cinnamon and little bit of other spice kind of comes out when I take a hit of the Jack and Ginger. It's my second one, by the way. And you see how this is how good the day went.
I'm about to say work got my man stressed out.
That's how good the day went. Now, if you look, you see it's got a nice little sheen to it, right? You see that?
Recently
Y'all see it?
lotioned.
Nice look. Now look at that vein. Look at that vein right there. Look at that right there. A very pronounced vein from the wrapper. I enjoy that because it just gives me that sense of, it's not too refined. You know what I mean? Now, let me show you something. The wrapper, when I took it out of the humidor, I guess I didn't let it sit long enough, and the wrapper cracked a little bit for me and peeled a little bit off, so you can actually see some of the binder under the wrapper here if you look close. You see that right there?
Yeah.
So that's the binder that's under the wrapper. A lot of times you don't see that. So I do have to mark a little bit off here on construction because that shouldn't happen. But like I said, it's got this leathery aroma to it. It's got some spice to it. Got a little bit of cocoa. I think if I had this with coffee, I'd probably get a lot more cocoa out of it. And some cinnamon.
It's the Pam Grier of cigars.
Pam Grier. Woo! It gives a lot of smoke too. What? You see that? Look at that.
Voluminous. Billowy.
Look at all of that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. So if you if you're a cigar smoker who likes to produce a lot of smoke to announce your arrival, this is a great one.
I would give this tape just to annoy people.
Right. I would give this a 4.17.
Oh,
out of 5 leaves. I mean, I like it, but that pissed me off. That right there. And I would have to smoke another one to make sure if it's my fault or if it is a construction thing, you know, because I can see here where the crack is going along. It's going along here, like it's going along this line here over towards the vein. So as I get down lower in the cigar, this is going to peel off some more, and that kind of irritates me.
Now, could it be that the vein of the leaf provides a different flavor than the not vein part? I don't know. What do you call the middle part of leaves? I don't even know what that is. The leaf part?
The leaf.
The leaf of the leaf?
The leaf. You know something? That could be true because the vein is, of course, more coarse and dense than the rest of the leaf. So there might be some flavor in there. It might also help with the, because in my experience, the veinier wrappers tend to have more sheen on them. So maybe there's more leftover oils and stuff that are coming out of the tobacco leaf from the vein.
We just solved another one.
I'm gonna have to do some research on that. That's a good question.
Finally, I got a good one. It only took me. My last good question was about 6 months ago. I just been vamping since then. I just been trying to think of something intelligent.
That's a good one. That's a good question. But as you can see, look, the construction is not bad. The burn line isn't too bad. It's a little wavy there. You see that right there, where it comes up like the stock market. You know, but it's not too bad. I get about 3/4 of an inch of ash before it falls off. Falls off in a nice chunk. I think if it hadn't hit the keyboard, it would have fallen off in like a nice solid chunk. But it hit half on and half off the keyboard here. So, you know, it is what it is. It's you charge it to the game. My wife would kill me if she was down here, but she's not. So we're not gonna talk about that.
Talk about what?
Exactly.
That's how and that's how the homies treat the homies.
Yes, and the Jack and Ginger is, I don't know if it's like a lot of people like Jack and Coke, but if you want to switch it up but stay in the same ballpark, Jack and Ginger is really good.
Or if you want to stay on the ginger beer, make yourself a dark and stormy. Get yourself some dark rum and ginger beer. I had about
some Kraken.
I had about 10 of them.
10
when I was on the boat.
Oh, you was on the boat.
No,
you stay away from the edge.
Man, that edge was like 100 feet high. When nobody getting to that edge to fall
Oh, really?
Off.
Oh, they put the fail safes in place.
Man,
huh?
you got to try to fall off that boat. You got to really try.
It ain't like the old days, huh?
No, it's not. You're not. It's not, whenever I talked about being on a cruise ship, everyone in movies where they have that train scene where you got to go from one car to the other car and you got to step across that little pulley system thing, the little joint. You got to step on that to get across. That's how they acted like the fucking cruise ship was. I'm like, motherfucker, this is a giant RV in the water. It's a giant yacht to take care of rich people.
Mm-hmm.
Why the hell would it be so rickety and ramshackle? There's flat screens in every room. And I mean, our room had a balcony, which was lit.
Oh,
yeah, the balcony is pretty good.
Oh, man, watching the sun come up.
Oh, that's what it was.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was the sun.
I mean, and that was also blocked off, so the neighbors couldn't even see into the.
Oh, damn, Rudy. Okay, yeah, the sunrise must have been great.
Sunset, moonrise,
yeah,
moonset, all those great things.
Yeah, I mean it's a great way to start off a night before you say prayers and go to bed.
I mean after the fucking Michelin star meal and a dark and stormy, why not go sit on the balcony with the drink and relax with the love of your life? Just totally relax.
I totally understand.
Yeah, I know they had to pressure wash her out after our boat left. Everybody was like, I am so glad to be out of the fucking States right now.
Right?
Everybody was getting it in. It's good times.
There you go.
Good times. So, Tim, what's going on with your channel? Anything new and exciting?
Not right now. I got to get the band back together. We're working on some new stuff.
Uh-oh. You
Now
got to
that-
go
now
and
that
bribe
I'm not-
anybody? You got to strong arm anybody?
No, it's just up until now I've been too busy with school and whatnot. So now that that's over, I can get back into it.
Right.
I submitted my master's thesis today.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
I'm not calling you master just because you get your goddamn degree. So don't even think that that's how this is going to work.
In a couple of years, you can call me doctor. That's what's going to happen.
Dr. Cheese.
Dr. Cheese. That's what I'm going to put into. It'll be Dr. Cheese.
Yeah. All right. Any other news stories you want to bring up? Anything else you want to talk about today, Haas?
Let's see. Oh, Notre Dame just hired that Marcus Freeman dude as their permanent coach.
You're gonna have to do a little filler for me because I have no idea.
Okay. All right. So Brian Kelly left the Notre Dame football team as head coach, kind of like the original Baltimore Colts left and moved to Indy. You know, because remember the Indianapolis Colts used to be the Baltimore Colts.
No, I did not know that.
Oh my God!
It was always the Indy Colts. It was always that for me.
No, for a long time, Baltimore didn't have a team because, or was it the Browns?
See, you don't even know.
No. I'm right. Cleveland Browns have always been the Cleveland Browns. The Baltimore Colts up and moved to Indy in the middle of the night. Okay, and became the Indianapolis Colts. And then the NFL finally gave Baltimore a team back, and that's when the Ravens were created some years ago. So Brian Kelly, the now former coach of Notre Dame, left in the heat of the night. It's the 6th ranked team. There's an outside chance they could get in the college football playoff. He still broke out. I guess 10 years and like $110 million, something like that will do that for you. Plus perks and side deals and all that good shit. So his defensive coordinator, Marcus Freeman, the black guy, was up for the head job, but not a lot of us thought he would get it. It's Notre Dame. And, you know, I thought a lot of people thought they might be hesitant because they hired Tyrone Willingham back in the day, but they gave him a notoriously short leash and kind of a shambles of a program to work with. So Marcus Freeman was just hired as the coach of a team. He basically got handed the keys to it's not a Lamborghini. It's like a
Porsche.
Dodge. It's like a Dodge Charger SRT. You know what I mean? It's making a lot of noise. It's fast, but there's stuff out there faster than it. You know what I'm saying? And more powerful.
It's faster than a Civic, but it's not saying much.
Yeah, it's not a Hellcat. It's not a Hellcat. It's not a Ferrari, but it's pretty close. It's a car that's got some balls to it. That's what Notre Dame is right now. I think they're overrated because in scanning their schedule, they haven't really beaten anybody of note. So, you know, but that's just me. But Marcus Freeman just got hired as coach, and it'll be interesting to see what type of leash he gets as far as their patience with him in winning and developing a program and all that good stuff. So there we go.
If I can stay in sports for a second,
Mm-hmm.
When are we going to a Bulls game?
When you want to go?
Yesterday.
Who you want to see?
I don't know, man. These tickets are getting a little crazy. But then I'm also like conflicted because I don't mind wearing a mask the whole time. That don't bother me. But I'm also not trying to go to a fucking super spreader event.
Right.
I mean, that's what all big sporting events are at this point, right?
It's just just like, welcome to the Petri dish. Would you like a beer? So
Yeah,
like
I
I
can't-
want to go, but then it's like, do we just like go balls to the wall and then get a box, and then we ain't got to worry about that? But that's a big outing at that point. Then.
You want to go to a bar?
I'm saying we get 10 people. You know, we can have a chill little box.
Hey, I'm down.
I'm just trying to figure out who's trying to go in on this box.
I'm down.
Yeah, and the NBA, I maybe I will start doing a little sports. Maybe my little contribution every once in a while. I'll put some sports takes on a separate video. Give you guys all your latest NBA news. Did you know DeMarcus Cousins got traded again?
To who?
He's now playing with the world champion Milwaukee Bucks.
Wasn't he at? Where was he at?
Man,
Was
he's
he
been
on-
everywhere.
No, where did he just get traded from? I want to say he was on the Nets, but I don't think so.
For like a day and a half. Because
The
he's
lights got turned off on me.
Oh, somebody sending you a message, dude.
She says, "Shut up,
Baby.
Nah, she sleeps like a rock. She don't hear nothing.
Baby.
You know what it is? It's fucking Alexa. That's who it is. Turning off my lights on.
Damn it, Alexa." Oh,
Well,
he
it's
was.
like you're
he
having
was-
an accident.
He was at the Clippers
Okay.
because
Who
he
they
was
trade him for?
probably nobody.
A pack of Skittles.
Yeah, he's injury prone.
He's injury prone. He went
It
for a
was a
long
Bazooka
time,
Joe.
and then once it started happening, it just started happening.
That's kind of how it goes, though, ain't it?
Oh, I know. Trust me. It's always something. You know.
I don't even see traded for. Who'd they trade for him?
Yeah.
Let's see. Kings confirmed. This is from 2017. What is wrong with you, Google? This recently, damn. Let's see. No guarantee deal with the Bucks. So maybe they just let him go. They just let him go.
Non-guaranteed deal.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but I mean, I don't know if you saw your favorite player, LeBron James, punch homie in the face.
I did, and he did that shit on purpose.
He did
I
that
saw
shit.
Did that on purpose.
And I
They try to act like he didn't do it on purpose, but he definitely did that on purpose.
you know what that tells me? All this losing is starting to piss him the fuck off.
Yeah, he don't like losing.
He already don't like losing, and now that he don't form the homie squad, whereas him and all his boys, and they can't win shit.
They haven't gelled yet. It's and then Westbrook, man, they got to talk to him.
No, he needs to go. What's his face? Schroeder is over in OKC cackling, boy.
Right.
Because he was like, yo, 44 mil. And they're like, 44, no, you can get out of here, sir.
Right.
And then they're like, we're bringing in Brody. And that boy has been turning the ball over so bad.
Dude, so bad. I'm like, bruh, what are you doing?
You don't know. I'm glad to see Chris Paul and his little sons, because it's his team now. Sorry, Devin Booker. They beat the Warriors, but
yeah,
it's a regular season.
Devin Booker got hurt again.
See, I like Book too.
I like him too.
Between him, Buddy Hield, and not Buddy Hield, him, Drew Holiday, and Tatum. Those were the last three proteges that Kobe had. And then as soon as Kobe passed, I'm starting to notice all this Kobe in all their games. And I'm like, duh. They got Mamba DNA. Look out. It's fourth quarter. Get out of the way.
Yeah. I mean, I like Booker. I think Chris Paul is getting a little long in the tooth, but he's still crafty. He's the black John Stockton right now.
Yes, he is. God damn it, yes. Yes, he is.
You know what I'm saying?
He is exactly that.
You remember John Stockton used to hit that fucking that free throw line jumper all the time, and Chris Paul will not miss that free throw line jumper.
That middies.
That mid-range jumper right at the free throw line. I'm like, and I'll be screaming at the TV, "Don't let him get there! Don't!" There you go, swag. And he won't hit nothing but the bottom of the net when he shoots that shot. It don't rattle in, it doesn't bank in. It's pure water. I'm like, don't, especially on the right side. On the right side of the lane, you can forget it. You let him get to that shot right there, it's done. And he's dirty, he's sneaky dirty like John Stockton was.
And I'm glad that I don't know if you realize this, Haas, but they changed the rules a bit.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd they do?
If the phrase in basketball is putting somebody in jail. So like if I get past my defender and then he's chasing behind me and then I intentionally slow down.
Oh yeah.
Contact and then I go up for like a layup or something like that.
That's not a foul anymore.
Nope.
Or is it an offensive foul?
If you jump in an unnatural fashion because you know the guy is right in your blind spot, offensive foul.
They would do that all the time. They would stop and let you run them over.
Yep. And
they did that for years. I was wondering why do they let that happen all the time?
And they're like,
Well, technically, it's contact while he's in the act of shooting the ball, so I have to give it to him.
no, that shit's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
That James Harden rip through 3-pointer shit.
Mm-hmm.
And if your legs kick out or anything like that, also those are no calls or offensive fouls now.
Oh, good. So now you got to actually shoot naturally.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So I mean, it is definitely showing out in people's stats because James Harden was getting like fucking on average like 12 to 15 free throws a game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's not getting that no more. And he's getting very upset on the fucking sidelines. But
whoa, we got breaking news. Major League Baseball is shut down.
What?
The league is in the first lockout since 1990. The MLB has implemented a player lockout early Thursday morning, certifying the game's first work stoppage in more than a quarter century after months of talks yielded little progress toward a new labor contract. The long-anticipated lockout, which the league told the players' union it would initiate once the previous collective bargaining agreement expired after 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time Wednesday, ends the transaction frenzy that led up to its imposition and sends the industry into a dark period with scant light in sight. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred expressed disappointment in the lockout, but said he believes it is the best mechanism to protect the 2022 season. And I quote, despite the league's best efforts to make a deal with the Players Association, that sounds like some bullshit, we were unable to extend our 26-year-long history of labor peace and come to an agreement with the MLBPA before the current CBA expired, Manfred wrote in a prepared statement. Therefore, we have been forced to commence a lockout of major league players effective at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time on December 2nd.
So what does a lockout mean? Like they're not going to play?
You can't play, you can't practice, you are locked the fuck out. You can't go to the facility and rehab. You can't go and lift. You can't go and watch film. You are effectively severed from your team.
Everybody is?
All the players.
Yeah, all the players, they essentially can't do anything.
Yep.
Oh, so they mean lockout. Like
yes.
I changed the locks.
They literally lock the doors. It says during a lockout, which is a labor relations tool used by management to keep employees from working until a deal is agreed upon, team officials and players cannot communicate in any way. Major League free agency and trades of players on the 40-man rosters end immediately. The Major League portion of baseball's winter meetings have been canceled, though they will continue on the minor league side. In 3 days of bargaining this week, the union and the league exchanged proposals that, like previous ones, left the other side nonplussed and illustrated the chasm between the parties. The final discussions between leaders from both sides Wednesday afternoon lasted 7 minutes. Wow. The MLBPA also issued a statement early Saturday morning calling the lockout a dramatic measure regardless of the timings. It was the owner's choice, I'm quoting, plain and simple, specifically calculated to pressure players into relinquishing rights and benefits and abandoning good faith bargaining proposals that will benefit not just players, but the game and industry as a whole, the MLBPA said in a statement. These tactics are not new. We have been here before. The players have risen to the occasion time and again, guided by a solidarity that has been forged over generations. We will do so again here. We remain determined to return to the field under the terms of a negotiated collective bargaining agreement that is fair to all parties and provides fans with the best version of the game we all love.
Do you think that has anything to do with the vaccination?
I don't think so necessarily. No, I don't think that that's a hill that people would die on.
Yeah, it's probably more.
It's more about money.
Yeah,
and you know what they're probably about. TV deals.
Yeah,
and who's going to get what percentage of that TV money? Because if the players are right now getting 20% of the TV deal money, but they're like, we the motherfuckers who play. Without us, there is no TV there's no game to be televised.
Right.
We should get a bigger percentage. And the owners are like, fuck y'all. That might cause some things.
Yeah.
I think that right about now, TV deals are so lucrative that, the Players Association might be saying, hey, you just signed a $3 billion deal with CBS or Fox or whatever to play and to broadcast our games. Without us, there is no games to broadcast. We're the linchpin in this. We want 35%. Yeah, we want 35%, not 20%. We still giving you the bigger share. We'll take 35%. And
like,
no,
no,
we don't want we know we don't want you reducing our salaries either. Oh, tons of mice. That's a great point too.
Pull it up
because a lot of money is made in concessions at baseball games. So that is a huge concessions and merchandising. What is the piece of the pie that the players are getting in that as well? Maybe they're getting a lot of that, and the owners want to cut that down. You know what I mean? So it's usually always about money. I would not think COVID vaccinations are the poison pill in this. You know what I mean?
Because even with like the way that they had to start doing the games and how maybe that's why, because they have to do all the restrictions and all the extra this and this, and they're like, well, we're going to take more of that now. And the players are like, fuck that. I
don't know about that. I would,
because they had a rough couple of years in sports. You know what I mean? They didn't, with none income.
Yeah.
So,
But that was just interesting. I just happened to get an alert on my phone.
And it'll be interesting to see how far into like the MLB preseason that goes, and even to like spring training and stuff like that.
Right.
Well,
I'm going to be interested to talk to my my baseball clients about what they think. You know, like today I was with baseball players from 4 o'clock until 10 o'clock. So I wonder what they'll be saying about this. It's interesting. It's always interesting to get these young idealistic people's points of view. You know, before they get ground down to the bone by the toils of life.
Before they get wound down to a nub.
Yeah, just ground down to a nub. It's just like, yeah, man, whatever, dude. You know, but I wonder what they'll say, because I was just talking to them about how blessed they are. Because, you know, these kids are in their practice jersey, some shorts and some shoes and everything. And one of them was complaining about something. I was like, do you know how blessed you are, dude? I said, your outfit right now is worth more than some people's whole wardrobe. And this is the worst thing you think you could wear. You know, I said, even if we depreciated the shoes you have on because they're dirty, they're still worth more than just a lot of people have in their whole bank account, if they have a bank account.
I feel attacked.
You know, you gotta. I tell people all the time that, man. You know, that's one of the great things about growing up very poor, is that you have this perspective on life and what hardship is and what is unfair, or, you know, like one of the kids was complaining that their room was small. And I was like, get the fuck out of here, dude. I slept on people's living room floors with a fitted sheet for a mattress. What do you you know what I mean? What are you talking about? Luckily for me, I was never homeless, but home is relative. You know what I'm saying? I had a roof over my head, yes. Did I have a room? Not always. Did I have a bed? Not always. You know, sometimes it was lawn furniture mats on the floor in the living room. You know, so I listen to these kids that are going to go outside and jump into their mom's Infinity truck, talk about how their room is small, or they don't have a PS5 yet and it's really pissing them off and stuff like that. And I'm like, I once knew a man who complained about his shoes until I met a man who had no feet. You know, but
saving all the money on shoes.
I wonder how they'll feel about the lockout and what side they'll be siding with. You know, it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see. Well, I like having discussions with them. So,
well, it's going to be very sad for me. Now I will not be able to ignore baseball like I have been doing for the last 15 years. I'm from St. Louis. I live in Chicago. I don't really have to worry about these things. One of my teams is winning, right? At some point, we're always winning. So, just give it a year.
I think when it comes to football, I think the Bears are going to go ahead and sit Fields for the rest of the year and let him heal up and get ready for next year. I almost kind of hope they do.
As a St. Louisan, I can't talk about football anymore because our team broke up with us.
Yeah. Your team. Wait a minute. You were the side chick as well, because they were in LA.
They said that they loved us.
Yeah. They moved in with y'all.
Yeah.
They left y'all again. They left y'all again and went back to the wife.
They didn't love you. They loved that new stadium. That's what they loved.
That dome is nice. That was the only football game I've ever seen, was at that dome. That was year we won too.
Was it the greatest show on turf years?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you was living high society.
It was loud as shit in there. That is the loudest building I've ever been in. Like that was intense loud.
Yeah.
But you probably needed binoculars in there because I couldn't see shit. Them tickets probably were like $10. Yeah, $10. And I was like a half mile away.
Yeah. So you were right up there. You were probably right up there where all the sound was bouncing off too. So
it was just reverberating all throughout that motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's terrible. But it was fun.
That's good.
All right. Well, you guys know the deal. Patreon.com/DigOnAmerica if you want to help out the little podcast that could. And once we hit that $100 goal, we're going to donate a third of that to a list of charities that our patrons have decided. And there are free ways to help out the show. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/DigOnAmerica. Or you can always just follow us on Twitter at DigOnAmerica. So with that being said, any final words, gentlemen, before I hit the button?
Nah, man, I'm about to hit the sack. I got to take a shower.
Too. I'm gonna take some NyQuil and pass the fuck out.
Uh-oh.
Fuck yeah.
I'm about to be on that lean. About to be on that lean.
I'm about to fucking get high and play Roller Coaster Tycoon. Get out! Bye.
Oh shit! I got that from you.
Yes. See you guys.
Bye.